What's up, y'all? In today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 documents everybody must have in their estate plan. Check it out. What's up, y'all? My name is Saluto Uba, and I'm the founder of the Uba Law Group. We're a law firm that helps you protect your business and family legacy. And today, we're going to be talking about the 5 documents you have to have in your estate plan. Now, whether you've already done estate planning and you're just trying to make sure that you've got everything together, or whether this is a conversation that makes you a little bit nervous because you know that you should probably have a plan in place, but you're not all the way comfortable talking about these things, this video is going to be extremely helpful for you just to make sure that you've either got that foundation laid or you're going along the right steps to get you towards protecting your family legacy. Now, let's hop right into it. Now, whether you're going with a trust-based plan or a will-based plan, the first document we want to talk about is called your power of attorney. Now, this is where you enable someone who is trusted to make decisions on your behalf, whether it be selling property, whether it be taking care of bills and expenses, whatever it is that you need done in an official capacity legally on your behalf, you designate that with a power of attorney. Now, obviously, because this is a great responsibility and authority, you want to make sure that it's given to someone who's responsible and someone who understands the full lengths of what they're signing up for and what they're assisting you for in the event of either incapacity or after you're gone. That power of attorney will reach to either of those situations, so you got to think carefully about who that is. Second, the next document that we want to talk about is kind of similar to the general power of attorney, but that's called a medical power of attorney. Now, a medical power of attorney is exactly for that. Now, in the event that you pass away, this is going to be the person that's taking care of your medical affairs and making those decisions on your behalf. And additionally, even if you haven't passed away, if you're incapacitated, whoever has your medical power of attorney is going to be the person who is authorized to make decisions for you. So obviously, once again, you're going to want to make sure that this is someone that you trust. You're going to want to make sure that this is someone that you've had good discussions with and they understand what your wishes are so that they can execute that to the best of their ability. Now, thirdly, we want to talk about a document called an Advanced Healthcare Directive, and it's also known as a living will. So this is essentially where you lay out your wishes in the event that you're on life support and your condition or your quality of life can't really be recovered. So this is a situation that not a lot of people really think through, but it's so important that we lay out our desires and we lay out our wills and our instructions so that your family members, the people that we leave behind, don't have to worry about this. So this is obviously a situation that's very delicate, but if you're in a state where you're either in a coma or you're in some sort of life support situation, it's important that we make decisions. Do you want to have them keep your life-sustaining support? Do you want to cut off support at a particular time? Whatever your decision is, it's entirely up to you. But like I said, all of these decisions are put in place so that your family can execute your wishes that you've already decided and they don't have to be burdened with making those decisions themselves. So your Advanced Healthcare Directive, your living will is extremely important, and it's a document that everybody needs to have. Now, fourthly, we want to talk about our HIPAA proxy documentation. Now, this is pretty much what allows your loved ones to receive medical records for you either after you've passed away or if you're incapacitated. It allows people to be able to speak to doctors on your behalf, and it also allows people to receive documentation for anything concerning your medical affairs, once again, whether you're incapacitated or after you've passed away. These are the type of documents that you have to think through who has access to it. These are types of things where you can make that decision ahead of time. If there are people that you've determined probably shouldn't be talking to the medical team or have access to the doctors, you can dictate that beforehand. So once again, there's no confusion and your wishes are adhered to. So whatever it is, these are conversations that we have to think through and we have to have beforehand. And additionally, you need to tell the people who are nominated and who are authorized to receive that information so that they know affirmatively that that's what they're able to do. Now, lastly, the 5th document I want to talk about is what's called a pour-over will. Now, a pour-over will is what's used in situations where someone has a revocable living trust. Typically, this is where we find them, but the pour-over will is what we call a redundancy. It's a safety net. So when you have a pour-over will, you essentially are stating that anything that you have not funded into your trust and placed into your trust, by default, will go into your trust. And when I say it's a redundancy, this is a way that when we're setting up a trust, we ensure that nothing is left out that might be amenable to probate or might be taken into the probate system, because we're trying to avoid probate if at all possible when you're going with a trust-based plan. Pour over wills are extremely important as well because that's also where you can designate guardians for your children. So you get the best of both worlds. You get to default, shift everything into your trust, and then you can also nominate guardians for your children if that's what you need as well. So a pour over will is extremely necessary and it's extremely helpful. Yeah, so that's it. Those are the 5 documents that you have to have inside of your estate plan. And if this conversation in general is new to you, if it makes you uncomfortable, or if it's something that you're not used to talking about and you just want a little bit of help, please feel free to reach out to our law firm. We help clients like this all the time, and our main goal is to demystify and bring down to earth a lot of these estate planning terms and conversations that might be confusing or might be uncomfortable to people. So if that's you, or if you know anybody like that, please feel free to share this video with them. Make sure before you head out, hit that like button, subscribe button, and make sure that you stay tuned with us because we're going to be providing you a lot of information that's going to be helpful for both creating an estate plan, a legacy plan for both yourself, your family members, and generations to come. So until then, keep on grinding, keep on hustling. I believe in y'all. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.